Hey guys, it's Germ. This was a little bit weird. A new Battlefield 4 patch came out, so Evil Viking 13 and I were like, hey, let's give it a try. And we went and hopped in, and I honestly was not expecting that much. But you know what? The new patch is actually pretty good. Now, this is not to say the Battlefield 4 is completely fixed or anything like that. You guys know I have been a very vocal detractor or vocal non-supporter of Battlefield 4 and the way it has been running since its release. But I think this new patch actually is a pretty significant step to rectifying that. I'm not saying I'm happy I bought the game, and I'm not saying I'm lining up to buy Battlefield 5, but kudos to DICE for finally fixing some of the problems that have been plaguing the game since it came out. I still did notice a few one-hit kills. I noticed a little bit of rubber banding every once in a while, although we were playing with a lot of people with really high ping last night. Not exactly sure why, but overall, the game felt much snappier. The bullets felt like they were landing on target correctly. I didn't feel like I died nearly as many cheap deaths. I define a cheap death as spawning in a really bad place and then running towards someone, shooting at them a bunch, and then it looks like they shoot me once or twice and kill me due to lag, or what some people refer to as the netcode. A lot of that felt a lot better. So I was pretty impressed. The game is actually fun now. I mean, there were always moments of fun before, but overall the experience was pretty frustrating, but I actually really enjoyed my time playing last night. And it surprised me. I might have enjoyed it more because it surprised me, but overall I did enjoy it a lot. I still think there are issues need to be fixed, balance issues and things like that. But for the first time, if someone suggests playing Battlefield 4, I'm not going to groan internally. I might actually be, delighted to play it. Which, is still pretty inexcusable that Battlefield 4 is essentially a large expansion of Battlefield 3, in my opinion. And Battlefield 3 had numerous issues that were pretty much fixed by the time the game was about 6 months old. But even when it launched, it did have some bad launch issues due to the servers getting swamped, but after they got those sorted out, the game ran pretty well. It wasn't perfect, but it ran decently well. Not at all like Battlefield 4, which, as everyone knows, was a giant piece of turd when it came out. But they have done quite a bit to fix it, and again, I enjoyed it a lot. Now, that's mostly talking about infantry combat. That's the majority of what I did last night. I still think Jeeps drive terribly across the ground. They bounce all over the place, and they're really, really aggravating. I think attack choppers are way too slow, and they die way too easily. All choppers die too easily. I think the guns on the jets and the choppers are woefully underpowered, and generally it feels like DICE hates pilots, to quote Evil Viking 13. But the infantry combat feels pretty darn good. So good job, DICE, at least for fixing that. I will be playing this game more in the future. Now, you may be wondering, why did I just switch to Battlefield Bad Company 2 footage? Well, Battlefield Bad Company 2 is to a lot of people the last really good Battlefield game. A lot of people really like Battlefield 3, I am one of those people, but Bad Company 2, it seems like pretty much everybody liked Battlefield Bad Company 2. It was the first proper Battlefield game on the PC since Battlefield 2, and it kind of helped make the long wait for Battlefield 3 a little better. It's a little more of an arcadey game than Battlefields 3 and 4 and even Battlefield 2, but it is a ton of fun. So Evil Viking 13 and I, after playing Battlefield 4 with the new patch, we decided to play some Battlefield Bad Company 2 just to compare what's supposed to be, the funnest Battlefield in years to the newest one. And kind of what we found was actually a little bit surprising. We both agreed that the infantry combat in Battlefield 4 is better. Now, we're ignoring small glitches and things that make it fixed. We're talking about when the game works well, which it seems to be working decently well now. Battlefield 4's infantry combat is better than Battlefield Bad Company 2's. Battlefield Bad Company 2, you feel slower. Even when you're sprinting, you just don't feel that fast. All the combat feels a little slower paced, which really surprised me because I remembered it being really, really crazy. And I think actually the reason for that is Battlefield Bad Company 2's destruction, while not as levolution-y as Battlefield 4, is a lot more fun. Just being able to blow holes in the sides of everything. It just, I don't know. It's better than Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people agree. Also, the audio Again, audio, not that realistic, but man is it fun. The audio is bombastic. It sounds like you really are in the middle of a war. I really love the audio in Bad Company 2, and I don't think Battlefield 3 or 4 are anywhere close to being as good as Bad Company 2. So after we played infantry combat for a while, we switched to helicopters. And that was actually pretty surprising. The choppers in Battlefield Bad Company 2 are actually about as slow as Battlefield 4. So maybe it was just Battlefield 3 that was a lot faster. But the choppers are very satisfying in Bad Company 2, and that's because the guns actually do significant amounts of damage. Instead of the magically regenerating health from Battlefields 3 and 4, the choppers in Bad Company 2 take damage and then you have to land to repair them or they die. But that's okay because the guns actually hurt stuff. The missiles are very powerful, and the small side gunner or front cockpit gunner, whatever you want to call him, number 2 dude, his gun is really good, has good splash damage, etc., etc. So, you know, that's really satisfying. Even if the chopper's slow, it feels like it's powerful and you feel like you can really take on the enemy, and you don't really mind that it's not traveling that quickly. And of course, there's no active radar missiles punching you into the ground for no good reason. Your chopper doesn't crash when it reaches 50% health. It doesn't suddenly stall and fall out of the sky, and a whole bunch of other things that I think are really crummy about the choppers in Battlefield 4. But overall, the vehicles in Bad Company 2 are not quite as good as the ones in Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3, in my opinion. I do think Battlefield 4 actually got those more correct, except for the helicopters. That's going to be the one caveat. I think the helicopters were really good in Battlefield Bad Company 2. They're also really good in Battlefield 3, just in different ways, and in Battlefield 4, I think they are just absolutely terrible. But overall, it was a really fun experience playing on the new patch and then going back to Bad Company 2 and having a little old nostalgia trip to 3 years ago. So I plan on making more videos with Battlefield 4, probably not with Bad Company 2. I think its time has more or less passed for me. But thank you guys for watching, as always. If you are interested in particular types of Battlefield 4 content now that I am enjoying it, please let me know, and I will do everything I can. Other than that, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. If you want to contribute to the conversation, leave a comment, and I will see you next time.